Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Huemoeller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it's a rainy Mick Shots Monday, but we are dry here in the SWBC podcast studio.
God.
Savannah Huemoeller here, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola. One of the things that I wanted to bring up was Micah Parsons. And I believe it's 48 now consecutive quarters without a holding call.
Wow. That's not
And
good.
this has been, people on Twitter have been reaching out about it. I mean, I see texts coming in with questions about it. And it's almost like, you know, that streak's lasting longer than Brandon Aubrey's did.
That's not cool at all.
Ryan Schottenheimer, he just did the press conference. He said today's practice, since they're in pads, he said it will be up-tempo, juicy, energetic. There will be running and there will be hitting.
Juicy.
There you go.
He said juicy.
He said-
About the matchup.
And I think what's going to be key is getting to Jalen Hurts as quickly as possible. Dallas has the highest pressure rate in the league. It's 46.7%.
Nice.
And then yesterday we talked to Dak after practice, and he said, congratulations to the Rangers to see what they've done in this turnaround the last couple years. The faith and trust in one another is what I took from it.
Trust.
We will win by a field goal by Mr. Brandon Aubrey, and I think he is going to go 18 for 18.
Oh, look
That's
at
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That's the
And
one I'm
pass.
talking about.
Who is it? Travis
Coons.
Exactly.
Coons.
That's a good one.
That's good,
is a
especially
good one.
considering that Maher was on the other team, and it will
Right,
be
they have to get rid
that'll
of
be a
him.
storyline that the Cowboys
Yes.
have fixed their kicking issues for years to come.
Have. Yeah. But I'm actually happy with it now based off everything that
That's
we've
what I'm
dealt
saying.
with in the last 6 weeks, because you learned some lessons
Yep.
against the 49ers and now winning against the Chargers. So I think this is actually
I think
the perfect
that's why I
time
said
for it.
pre when the schedule first came out, I was like, this is trash. Now I'm like, this is perfect.
Especially if we're trying to rest the O-line and just get them reset for being back together. I mean, like you said, they've only had one real game together, so this is good. The Salvation Army's 27th annual Red Kettle Kickoff returns to AT&T Stadium this Thanksgiving. Get excited to watch the one and only Dolly Parton rock the stage during the halftime when your Dallas Cowboys go head-to-head with the Washington Commanders. Tune in at 3:30 on CBS.
I'm going to watch that halftime show.
So,
I just think there needs to be a lot of running the ball. And it was the same thing against Philly. We had to establish more of the run game. You have to do the same thing in Buffalo because you have to confuse the defense. You don't want Dak passing the entire time. You need to run the ball, too.
and even if they do, if they're not successfully running the ball, just get it out there in space.
Play even happened. The Tony Pollard run
Yes.
should have been a touchdown
Yes.
initially. He didn't run into the corner of the end zone.
Thank
He
you.
decided to cut through a couple
Thank
guys
you.
that are trying to make like a push at the
Yes.
same time. So
Yes.
he should have just run to the corner, and this might be a different conversation. But it was the most packed I've seen the room. Just reporters standing in the back. Usually there's enough seating for everybody. Just a very packed room. And primarily the question was, have we addressed what had happened against the Packers? And I talked to Mickey after, and it almost felt like a lot of what we were talking about in the press conference, specifically Coach McCarthy, it was a little bit going in circles. And it was really, hey, we need to go back and reevaluate this offseason, look back at some of the fundamentals that we have and changes that we need to make.
Sounds familiar.